The only way to prevent people from catching COVID-19 is with a vaccine. It is a new virus, but the quest for a vaccine is not coming from a standing start. When you are inflicted with an infection, your body develops antibodies and specialized immune cells that learn to fight that illness-causing pathogens. This virus was only identified a few months ago, and while researchers have been rapidly finding out about the virus and the disease it causes, there is still so much about it we do not understand. Rapid vaccine development technologies mean that the time it takes to develop a vaccine, which used to be in the order of 2 to 5 years, could be condensed down to the 12 to 18 months. University of Queensland researchers are one of the groups worldwide working on potential vaccine for COVID-19. One problem that is envisaged with the COVID-19, your body may not cause a strong immune response, and the very purpose of producing a specific vaccine may not serve the purpose. This is a great fear, and the chances of mutant virus that you've developed in due course may further become a problem to eradicate the viral infection from the humans. So, the immune system we have in our body is like a security system, and how efficiently this innate system will work when our body is challenged by a virulent, deadly virus entering our body through the portals of our eyes, nose, mouth is something that we need to discuss and find answers. The flu epidemic of last year did not gravely affect the people in the tropical countries, but in the US killed more people than the First World War. That flu caused by influenza types A and B viruses peaked in US about December through February until May last year. Getting a flu vaccine shot is a single answer that you can do each flu season to protect from severe illness. Those flu vaccines triggered enough antibodies in our body to prevent a severe attack if one contracts the flu. So far, all viruses were detected long before the epidemics, and there was enough time period to manufacture the vaccine to be given during the seasonal flus. There is no doubt the attenuated virus, when inoculated to humans, enough protective antibodies were created to fight in case of the flu that hits you. So far, no vaccine has been manufactured for the present COVID-19. Obviously, the virus came as a shock suddenly through the exposure of people from bats transferred onto humans in Wuhan. This is questioned by the Chinese authorities from where the virus came from. In the UK, a potential coronavirus vaccine being developed at the University of Oxford will begin human trials immediately, Matt Hancock, the health secretary, said. Meanwhile, the Wuhan Institute of Virology is working on an inactivated vaccine for COVID-19. Wuhan Institute of Virology provided the World Health Organization with the whole genome sequence of the virus in early period of the epidemic, thereby laying a good foundation for the rest of the world to form their testing methods and vaccine designs, said Johan Zimming, a researcher at the institute. Every virus with time mutates. It is part of a viral life. The coronavirus is an RNA virus, collection of genetic material packed inside a protein shell. RNA viruses, like the flu and the measles, are more prone to changes and mutations compared with DNA viruses, such as herpes, smallpox, and human papillomavirus. It is believed that coronavirus, being a deadly virus, will mutate to something deadlier and becomes an even scarier threat to humanity. COVID-19 being an RNA virus, when it meets human cells, it starts to make new copies of itself that can go on to infect other cells. This sort of multiplication is referred to as replication. This virus has already started mutating, and the vaccine that is being manufactured may not be able to combat with the mutant virus. What this means is that by the time vaccine is ready in the market, the virus would have mutated and the antibodies produced in the body may not be able to kill the mutant virus. The virus that is being spreading in Italy and New York is a mutant strain of after replication of the original RNA virus. Mutations of this virus has two forms, L-type and S-type, or you can call them L and S forms. The implications are that these mutants may be more vivid and transmittable, and that is what we are concerned about. Out of the two main major lineage of strains L and S type, ancestral type is called S form of virus. S form is now all over the world. This is reproduced into a mutation called L form and is more infectious than the S form. S form or the S type, which is the older, is mild and less infectious. Mutated later to L type spreads quickly, about 70% of the current cases. L-type was more prevalent in the early stages of the outbreak in Wuhan. L-type causes a severe disease.
Let's take a closer look at each one. The S-type, which had infected about 30% of cases examined, is considered to be the older of the two and is likely to have appeared when the virus jumped from animals to humans. The L-type, which infected around 70% of the cases, is thought to have emerged afterwards. And according to the report, it replicates faster in human populations, causing it to accumulate more mutations and is more aggressive than the S-type due to the potentially higher transmission rates. So, should we be even more worried?
Presently, the S-type is causing the pandemic. How come that the S-type is more prevalent now when the L-type was more prevalent in the early stages of the outbreak in Wuhan? Frequency of the L-type decreased after early January 2020, probably due to human intervention and lockdown control in China, closing down opportunities for the L-type to spread.
Wuhan goes into lockdown, an effort to stop it deadly further.
So the pandemic seems to be S-type presently. S-type is less transmittable and less virulent. Those spikes seen on the surface of the virus are called protein spikes. These spikes are important as they make it transmittable. So the virus spikes gets into the protein receptor called ACE2 on the surface of the epithelium of your skin. These protein spikes move and fit into the receptors. This makes a virus infection and the virus gets into the cell. The virus reproduces inside the cell. The changes in the molecular conformation within the spike of the virus can fit into the cell more efficiently and increases the binding and making the virus more transmittable. L form seems to be fitting more efficiently. Chinese halted the L type. The implications of this are that we are getting infected with both S and L types. It is the S type causing the pandemic at the moment. Individuals in the US tested both strains are around. L form will be more prevalent and we will not be able to curb the L type like the Chinese, making the pandemic more serious. Vaccine may not work on the L mutated strain. Good news is that the same vaccine will work for both strains, hopefully. So when we get the vaccine, we can immunize against both S and L types. Meanwhile, in our body, antibodies formed for the S and L types may be different. When we get the vaccine in 2021, we can immunize people against both types. It is possible that the antibodies in your body may be working for S type. L type may have a different antibody. The antibodies can cross. Antibodies for the L type may cross onto the S types. This could lead to a wave of infection. Vaccine for both S and L types will make you sicker. That is the present situation. Summarizing the issues. As described, there are two types or strains of COVID-19. The ancestral form is the S type, and the subsequent mutant strain is the L type. We are now afflicted with the S type, which is a mild infection, while the L type, yet to come, is a more deadly, virulent type that spreads faster. Presently, a vaccine is being made in many laboratories to fight against S type of virus. We are not sure whether the antibodies formed for the S type will also defend the more virulent L type of the virus yet to come. We still have to wait and see. The situation is very scary. Hope this presentation of the COVID virus and the vaccine challenges helped you to understand the present and the future situations. Thank you for sharing and take care.